Hey guys! So before we get into this episode, Emma and I just wanted to give y'all a little spoiler warning because we're going to be talking about some of the Marvel new releases, which are Loki, Black Widow, and a few others. And we do definitely cover some spoilers. So if you haven't seen Loki, Black Widow, What If, or really any of the most recent Marvel material, we highly recommend that you go watch those. Or, you've been warned if you haven't.
Yes. And this episode is in memoriam to Chadwick Boseman. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Fan Vitals. I'm Emma.
And I'm Gabby. And this week we're going to be discussing our opinions on the new Marvel releases, Loki and Black Widow.
That's right. So, shall we get started?
Of course, but really quick before we do, for those of you who are watching the video portion of our episode today, I am channeling my inner Natasha Romanoff today because I got this fancy ass braid like they have in the whole movie. Every single braid they have is so fancy.
Yeah.
I also got my Black Widow shirt on, standing up so you can see it. And I got that for $8 at work. Thank you, work. So,
I am
now
not
we can
wearing
get started.
anything Loki or Black Widow. I would have loved to do something Loki, but don't have anything yet.
Yeah, too short of notice. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just had this already.
Well, speaking of Loki, shall we get started?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I figured we'd start with some favorites and least favorites of the show, kind of like what we did with the movie musical episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the first question is, who is your favorite variant of Loki, not including Tom Hiddleston / OG Loki?
Okay. So just for the meme, I'm going to say that my favorite is... Emma read and started laughing. I'm going to say my favorite is Crokey, just for the meme. Also because he's freaking adorable.
So I said Sylvie, but without the weird self-cess thing that goes on. But I love
really
badass female Loki variant.
Yes, she is very cool. But she doesn't hold a candle to little alligator Loki, who's freaking adorable.
But what about the kid Loki? Kid Loki who killed Thor.
I thought that was hilarious.
I did too.
I was laughing as soon as they were like, what'd you do? You're a kid. And he's like, I killed Thor. I was like, yo.
I know. So what was your favorite moment in Loki?
I think my favorite moment is when they like chop off the timekeeper's head and they're like, what the hell? These are droids. What the heck? I was like, not expecting that one.
Yeah, I really like, again, with my Sylvie, what the heck? But when she kills He Who Remains and unleashes the multiverse alternate timelines that the TVA just cannot prune in the season one finale.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
Yeah.
With like when what's his name? Lightning McQueen, Owen Wilson. What's his character's name? Mobius. Thank you, my brain.
Yeah.
When the alternate Mobius is like, who are you, my guy? And Loki's like,
yeah,
just like, oop. It's a
time.
That was a moment.
I was a moment. Yeah,
I was like, whoa, that's a whoo.
Yeah.
Yikes. So, what about your least favorite moment, Emma?
Again, with Sylvie, the Sylvie Loki kiss.
Yeah, that was really weird. I also thought, like, I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but the episode where they essentially did nothing was so insufferably boring.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was
liked
so
the show
boring
overall, but there were so many, like, boring parts for me.
Yes, I think they easily could have condensed this movie down into, this show down into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
I think they could have achieved
the same thing.
Though I do know
that they had originally cut out a lot of bigger plot points due to cutting production due to COVID.
Which, like, sucks, but also I would rather have them produce it and, like, release it later.
Same.
Than give us, like, kind of a lackluster, you know?
Yeah.
I just couldn't stand that one episode. It was the one where they get on the train and they go and they like can't catch the ship off the moon.
The one where we get Tom Hiddleston
The Sylvie
singing.
Loki kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
the
episode.
first one of 2.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't like
was just,
either, but yeah.
No, I didn't like either of them, but yeah, that first episode, it was like episode 3, right? I think so. 3 or 4.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I was just so freaking bored. And I usually
Same.
crochet when I watch TV because I need something to do with my hands. Otherwise, my mind wanders and I can't focus on the TV.
Same.
But I was just like, I got like a whole row done during that episode. And a row on the project that I'm working on right now is 457 stitches.
Girl.
Yeah. I was just like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Jeez. So what would you give this show score out of 10?
You know, I wrote 7 out of 10. I think I'm going to stick to that. I think, 7 out of 10 is pretty accurate. I think it's just okay.
I'm thinking about the other shows and where it falls in my, like, favorite to least favorite of the Marvel shows.
I think it's my least favorite.
I still, don't get mad at me, but I still haven't finished Falcon the Winter Soldier. I'm almost done now.
Bro! Girl, you've had so much time!
I've been in school. But
so have I!
I have two more episodes left, and I plan on finishing it tonight with my
TV. You better tell me how much you like it.
Okay.
Or don't like it. I just need to know your opinions, because
I will.
I liked it. I have some unpopular opinions about the last episode. I thought it was just okay, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But and that's coming from like a Bucky stan. Like I freaking love Bucky, and I thought it was just okay.
Yeah. But I really like What If.
Me too. I think a lot of the Marvel shows recently have just been okay.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think they've all just been okay. I think What If is the only one that I'm like, okay, this is pretty good.
I love What If, especially that first episode with Captain Carter.
Oh my gosh, yes, I love Captain Carter.
Have you watched all 4?
I've watched 2 out of the 4.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Okay.
So what was your score out of 10 for the Loki series?
I think a 7.5 out of 10.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. I just, like I said earlier, I really thought that the part where they were trying to escape from the planet and literally no plot movement happened at all. That episode, it's only 50 minutes, but it felt like it was like 3 hours long.
I agree, because I think that was the episode that I, like, kept on having to, like, go out and do stuff during. I was like, I'm still on this episode?
Yeah.
It also happened while I was watching another show, a completely other show, recently, too. Mm-hmm. Where one of the episodes leading up to the season finale was just filler. It was an hour-long episode.
This irritating.
Or, like, 45 minutes. I don't know. But it was Avatar The Last Airbender. And literally the, like, episode before this series finale is just the characters watching a play journey of the past 3 seasons.
Wait, is that where the 2 lovers...
No, that's not where that comes from. That's from a different episode. That's from, like, season 1 or 2.
I love the... And then I forget it, and then it goes, Secret Tunnel! Secret Tunnel!
No, it's where you get the... I love your Zuko costume, but you put the scar on the wrong face. It's not on the wrong side. Or, like, on the wrong side. That's a cosplay audio. With a lot of people that do scar makeup, especially Anakin, Zuko, and Luke Castellan from Percy Jackson. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that comes from there. But, like, nothing happens. I was so mad. My friend was over, and I was like, can we just skip this episode and get to the season finale? Mm-hmm. Or the series finale.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was the one thing I appreciated about Grey's Anatomy, is that the filler episodes were at the beginning of the season.
Okay, I'd rather
Like, the good episodes were at the end. But
I
it's
mean,
like,
that's kind of how it was with Loki. How many episodes?
But I
were
felt
there?
like the first episode had a lot of information. I felt like the first 2 episodes actually had a lot of information.
Yeah, I agree.
It was that third one that was just awful.
I agree. I wish we got either more, like, Sylvie backstory during that episode. Because we still really don't know, like, anything about
those,
her.
like, 5 seconds of Sylvie backstory.
Yeah, could we get more of that backstory in that episode, please?
Yeah. 5 seconds is not enough.
No, especially because
She's such a big character.
Loki, yeah, true.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, there's 6 episodes, and the 3rd episode was the filler.
Yeah.
So I'm looking
I would also love to see the backstories for each of the variants.
You know what? I just, this idea came up in my mind. You know, in Spider-Man, what is it? Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. When they're like, okay, let's do it one more time. My name is Peter B. Parker. And they're telling how they became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Could we have done that with Loki and how they got involved with the TVA?
Yes.
Let's do this one more time.
Hilarious. One more time. My name's Peter B. Porker. John Mulaney. Fantastic in that role.
I don't know why that, like, specific thing came up in my mind, but I was like...
No, because it's a perfect mechanism to do it. Yes. You get a backstory for all of them, and I think they could have made him a little bit longer for Loki.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. For
but
such
for, like,
a big
the
deal.
entire, like, group of them, no. Like, the group that's following President Loki, but, like, maybe President Loki, Old Loki, Kid Loki, Gator Loki, Sylvie, and then OG Loki.
Yeah. No, his name's Croaky.
Okay, I'm calling him Gator Loki.
No, it's just, I don't even know if that's his real name. That's just a term me and my friend at work came up with. And she doesn't work with us anymore because she moved to Oregon, and now I'm so sad because I love her so much, and she's the only person I can talk about Marvel with at work.
Aww.
Yeah. She was like, Gabby, have you watched Loki yet? And I was like, no. For like months until I finally finished it. I kid you not, 2 shifts before she left. Yeah.
Jeez, no.
And I told her, I said, I finished it, and we worked together one shift, and then we talked about it that shift, and it was such a nice time, and I was really sad when she left.
Yeah. Sean and I were planning, because originally we were supposed to go to Fall Dapper Day. We can't this year, because I can't get off of work for that weekend, because it's the weekend before Thanksgiving for Fall Dapper Day at Disney World.
Yeah.
So I can't get off then if I want to go home for Thanksgiving is the big problem. But we were going to do Loki. Like, we were going to do different Loki variants. I was going to do Sylvie, and I think he was going to just do President Loki because that's an easy Loki variant to do.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that California Fall Dapper Day is the first weekend in November.
You see, I
but
wish
that's what
ours
it was 2 years ago.
I wish ours was early November.
Yeah. I think ours is November, but I'd have to double check. I don't know. I want to go, but I'm kind of right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Disneyland is November 14th.
Oh, so they moved it.
It's the second weekend.
Yeah, it used to be the first weekend.
Yeah, it's November 13th and 14th. And
which also is not bad.
No, again, ours is the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's the 20th and 21st.
Which is, like, awful.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll convince my parents that we go this year.
Yeah. I mean, Dapper Day is so much fun. So shall we go into Black Widow?
For sure.
You know, first...
I'm so excited. I loved this movie.
Same. When I went home this weekend, my mom hadn't seen it yet and wanted to, so we bought it on Disney Plus and watched it together.
Amazing. It's so good. Okay, granted, it's been like 3 weeks since I've seen it.
Okay.
So I don't remember everything.
I have a fresher mind, so if you
bear with me if I've only seen it once.
Okay. So, who's your favorite character?
I don't remember much. I remember a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for favorite character, I'm torn between Elena and Alexei. See, here's the thing. I thought David Harbour was so freaking good in this movie.
I know. He was great. My mom goes halfway through the movie. She's like, is that guy from Stranger Things?
Yes.
Like,
he
yes.
was so good in this movie. I thought, okay, he was funny. He was serious when he needed to be, but he was so good. I thought he was fantastic in this movie. I know this is like a girl power movie and like there's more female characters than male characters in this movie, but still, I thought he was so good. But I also really loved the character of Yelena, and I really loved like all of that. I loved the whole family thing for them.
Yeah, I love Yelena. She's my favorite character from this movie.
Yeah, she's great.
I think one of my favorite scenes, besides like favorite moment, like another one of my favorite scenes is when she's like, when you do the hair and the
yes, the poses,
the fighting pose, you're a total poser.
Yes. I thought that was hilarious. I also thought it was adorable with the winged eyeliner thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have winged eyeliner. I felt like that was appropriate.
Yeah. I was just driving for 4 hours, so bear with me.
I mean, I was too, but I was like, I'm gonna put out the makeup because I'm so sunburned.
True.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite moment?
Okay. I loved seeing them as a family in Ohio. Ohio? Yeah.
Ohio.
I thought that was really cute, and I loved when they were catching the fireflies.
I did too.
I was like, that is adorable. I also really loved when they were busting, like, the widows out of the new Red Room as, like, a family. And I was like, hell yeah! Get them!
Yeah.
Also, I have a lot of favorites, okay? Let's see. What else did I also like? I really liked the chase with Taskmaster. I thought the dynamics between Yelena and Natasha was, like, very sisterly. I was like, that is very much how siblings interact. Yes, this is accurate.
What's funny was when they did their first fight between the two of them. I went to my mom. You see, my sister and I don't fight that bad. Julie and I don't fight that bad. She's like, but do they realize that they were sisters in the beginning of the movie? I'm like, yes, that's why they're fighting.
Yes.
Did you not pick that up?
That's why they're fighting. Yeah. Because they're mad at each other.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought that was so funny. I loved that.
Yeah.
And I love that we finally found out what happened in Budapest.
I know, right? We've been wondering since the first phase.
Yes, we finally learn what happens in Budapest. That, I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I definitely thought it was that Clint and Natasha got together. Like, together. But, like, you know, the results we got were pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. I mean, I was kind of disappointed, but you know what? Finding out is better than wondering for the rest of time.
Yeah.
So, take it or leave it.
One of my favorite moments, the other one I want to do later because it's just the end credit scene. Okay. I want to talk about that after we do favorite stuff. But one of my favorite scenes is like the whole opening scene with Alexei, Milena, Natasha, and Yelena posing as that family in Ohio to the montage of the Red Room. I just think
the montage of the Red Room was good too.
Yeah. I just think the young girl that played young Natasha was amazing.
So good.
And she's Wendy in Peter Pan and Wendy. It's going to be a Disney Plus live action thing with Jude Law as Captain Hook. And I think Peter and her two brothers are no names. But the fact that Wendy, her first movie was Black Widow, starring as young Natasha.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. And I thought she was great.
Yeah.
I also love the girl who played young Yelena. She was fantastic too. I was heartbroken. I was literally sitting there crying.
Same.
And Zach was like, babe, the movie just started and you're crying. And I was like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
It was really
I remember
good, though.
my mom's reaction to the montage. She was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because she didn't realize.
I feel like that was
how-
everybody's reaction.
Yeah.
It was really sad.
It was. Also, the scene just came up in my mind. When Natasha found out that the Red Room actually killed her mother and that her mother didn't just, like, give her to the Red Room. Like, she thought for all those years.
Yeah.
And then
What about that?
And then them talking about how they posed for Christmas, New Year's, and whatever other holiday. I forget which holidays.
All
they
in one
posed
day.
All in one day. For
Yeah.
that. And how Natasha knew that there were no actual, like, presents in the boxes, but she was so happy just to have the boxes.
I know. It was, like, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, along with the scene where she was yelling at Yelena that none of it was real. And she was like, but it was real to me.
Yeah.
That just crushed me. It totally broke my heart.
Same. I love Yelena.
I know, me too. I loved everybody in this. I thought this movie
same.
was fantastic. I love the pigs.
Yes.
I love the pigs.
I love the pigs, too.
I love when they broke Alexei out of the prison. I
And
thought
they're like,
that was
don't make
hilarious.
a big scene. And he's, like, literally, like,
I know.
creating a prison break.
Freaking avalanche.
Also, Alexei being like, I fought Captain America.
Yeah.
Did Captain
And she's
America
like,
ever
"No."
talk about how he and I fought each other?
And she's like, no.
Well, because timeline-wise, he would have been in the ice already.
Ice already, yeah. Yeah, he would have been long in the ice. Like 20 years in the ice.
At least, yeah.
At least, yeah. So, I was laughing. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah. Also,
Like I said.
Also, getting to see her, like, with the platinum hair at the end of the movie before, like, going off to find everyone before Infinity War.
I know.
It makes me sad.
This movie was just really good.
Yeah, this movie was amazing. It just makes me sad that
really
it
good.
took so many years for us to get a Natasha Romanoff movie.
Same. But I'm kind of glad
We
they
waited.
did it the way they did.
Yeah, same.
And I'm glad they did it when they did, because I think had they done it a different time, it would have been different.
It would have been.
And possibly not in a good way.
Yeah, because we would definitely not
know
have
what I
gotten that montage, the Red Room montage.
No, and we wouldn't have seen, like...
Also,
I don't
we wouldn't
think
have had
that...
Florence Pugh.
We
Because
wouldn't have had what?
Florence Pugh as Selena, because she wasn't an actor at that point.
Yeah.
Or
We
a
wouldn't
known
have had
actor.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that the movie would even be similar. I think it would be a totally different... Like, had it been made 10 years ago...
Oh, she would have been way more sexualized.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I don't think the movie would be as strong as it is now.
No.
But let me tell you, I do think that this movie is going to have a harder time resonating with the guys. Because from every guy that I've talked to about it, they were like, I don't get the big deal about it. And every woman that I've talked to about it has been like, oh my gosh, I loved that movie.
It's my little sister's favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like my favorite, because you know why I have my favorites. Everybody
your
knows why I have my favorites.
are the 3 Captain America movies because
Of course, it's Bucky. I love Bucky. But she's like number 4, which is like a big deal for me.
Yeah, that is. I want to go back and rework my Marvel movie list from how many months ago?
Yeah, from a few, like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, because it's
I
definitely
would like
changed
to
since.
update it at the end of the year. So after Shang-Chi.
Yeah, and after Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And see how it changes after that. Because I did not like the last Spider-Man movie, if y'all recall.
I mean, we all know how I feel about the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I know. We know. You love them. You love Tom Holland. You love Spider-Man. We know. It's like me with Bucky.
Yes. Yes.
It's the same. But yeah. So she's like, this movie's quickly become one of my favorites, and I think that's because, like, I thought it really portrayed, like, clearly, like, they're not actual Russian spies, and, like, clearly, like, you know, not everybody is gonna be a Russian spy, but I feel like it portrayed, like, what normal women, like, talk about and look like, and, you know, we don't all, like, fight a android, like, reanimated person, but, you know, we go through the same kind of thing. Kind of. Not at all.
Not at all.
But, like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for being a woman. And I thought it was great. I liked it a lot.
I did too. So shall we get going with the least favorite moment? Because we've been on favorite moments for a while.
Because it's so good. There are so many good moments. Yeah. There's only, like, one moment that I'm kind of about, but, like, I understand, like, it's
and it's the same for the two
in the
of
movie.
Us.
Yeah. But I understand why it's there.
Yeah, and it's the weird pheromone lock installed into every widow, which causes them not to be able to attack Dreykov.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, okay. Yes, that's weird. And I think that's kind of gross and misogynistic and whatever. But that's how the character is. You know? The character only sees these widows as objects.
Yeah.
He sees them as killing machines and nothing else. And so for him, I mean, I'm like, yeah, it's really terrible and really disgusting. But, like, I feel like that's another reason to hate him as a villain.
I agree.
You know? I also really didn't like when he made all the widows beat Nat up. I was like, we're not here for girl on girl hate. We're not here for that.
Nuh-uh.
But, like, they weren't doing it themselves. So I'm like, okay, they were being controlled by a guy, and he was being lame because he's a wuss and doesn't want to actually fight her.
Yeah.
And, like, she can't actually fight him back. And, like, so I was kind of torn. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was still better than Captain Marvel by a long shot.
I agree.
I thought it was significantly better. Like, worlds better.
Yeah. What would you give this show score out of 10?
You mean this movie?
Movie.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. It's been a long day for both of us.
Yeah.
I give it a 9.5 out of 10, minus half a point for that weird pheromone thing that I'm not about.
So can we talk about the end credit scene?
Yes, absolutely.
I am so excited for the Hawkeye show.
Right?
I was just watching, because I had already seen this movie before when I watched it with my mom the other day. Mm-hmm. I was just watching her reaction to the end credit. She's like, oh, it's after Endgame now? It's like, yeah. Let's continue watching. And then she's watching it. And then when we see the iPad or whatever tablet it is with Clint, she's like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. I'm stoked for this Hawkeye show.
I'm so stoked for this because she is very vengeful at this moment. And
yes. I'm excited to see more of Yelena. I also thought it was adorable that Nat was wearing Yelena's vest in Infinity War.
Yes.
I thought that was adorable.
Also
sorry, I'll be done after this.
Okay.
But she talks about how many pockets this vest has, and there's no pockets!
I know.
She's like, there's pockets everywhere. I can hold this, and I can hold this, and I can hold this. And I'm like,
there's
girl,
no pockets.
If she's gonna talk about pockets, the vest has to have pockets.
Yeah. I was going to talk about, like, one little detail that a TikTok I saw. I forget who did it, so I'm sorry to whoever it was that I'm not giving credit to. But, Black Widow, Natasha, she is wearing silver jewelry the entire movie, and Yelena is wearing gold to separate the two sisters even more.
Yeah.
In the end credit scene, Yelena is seen wearing silver rings.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I noticed that the second time watching it.
That's like such a tiny detail.
I know, but still. It's kind of like the whole In the Heights thing with Nina's hair.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if have you seen it yet?
No. I'm afraid to watch it now. I listened to the soundtrack at work the other day, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
So I'm kind of apprehensive about watching it because I don't think I'm going to like it.
Okay.
Honestly. So, yeah.
So, shall we get into at least the first 2 episodes of What If review?
Yeah. I haven't seen all of them. I'm sorry, guys. I'm slacking this week. I had a lot going on. I couldn't finish them all.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which one was your favorite, like, What If? Like, who is your favorite?
Of
between
the
the
two
two
that you've seen, Captain Carter were the first Avenger.
Yeah. I really liked the Captain Carter one a lot.
I did too. Just badass woman.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, I thought T'Challa was kind of boring. I hate to say that because I feel like I'm hurting, it's the memory of Chadwick Boseman, and I feel like I'm slandering that, but
though
I just didn't think it was that good. I thought it was just okay.
Though he does so much good for the galaxy.
I know. But, maybe it's just my expectations were different of what it was going to be like.
Yeah.
I was expecting T'Challa to be more like
Peter Quill. Okay.
I was expecting that goofy, kind of silly, not so serious T'Challa, which I would have loved to see. Because
I think to see that too.
Because, right, I think a lot of the way Peter Quill is because of Yondu's influence on him.
I agree.
And, T'Challa is the way he is because of how his father was. Yeah. And if T'Challa's only grown up with his father for 10 years, right, and he lives those 11 years with Yondu, more than half of his life has been spent with Yondu and the Ravagers. So there's gotta be some influence on him.
Yeah.
From them.
I agree. I don't know. I loved seeing Nebula not as broken.
Oh, yeah.
That
me too.
Killed
the hair?
me.
I don't know how I felt about the hair.
I don't know how I felt about the hair either. Also, Drax.
Yes,
being
Drax.
The bartender.
Yes, that was cute. When he was like, "You saved my wife and child." Or whatever it was. I was like, yes, finally a win for Drax.
I know.
That made me so happy. But yeah.
But, yeah. But I just loved, going back to the first episode, Howard Stark, Bucky, just all of them.
Yes. Also, I was like, there's no way that's Sebastian Stan voicing Bucky.
It is.
And then he was in the credits. I know. And I was like, no.
The only 2 that haven't come back so far, well, for the episodes that you've seen, have been Chris Evans and Drax.
Yeah.
I don't know that actor's name. But
it's, give me a second.
In the third one, Downey Jr. didn't come back, but it sounds like Robert Downey.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of actors there's a lot of people who can voice him perfectly.
Yeah, so, and also...
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the third one. The third one has been my favorite one so far, though. I will say that.
Okay. So, what was your favorite moment of any of them that you've seen? Or of the first 2?
Of the first 2?
Yeah.
Why is the stupid TikTok meme coming to mind?
Stupid TikTok meme?
Hey, Barn stole a Jeep.
What?
Howard Stark. Interrupting Captain Carter and Steve's kiss. He goes and slams on the window and goes, "Hey, Barn stole a Jeep."
That's right. Yes, that was so funny. That happened and I was like, yep. I was like,
and then him just being like, "Oh, you guys can continue," and just staring at them.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I live for that, like, awkward energy, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, what about you?
I really liked the Hydra Stomper.
I did too.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And I liked when Steve just came in and he was like, pew, 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 stomp, stomp,
Same.
stomp. I was here for it.
I
was
just
like-
realized how much good comes from Captain Carter being there rather than Steve. I love Steve, but, like, Bucky never becomes Winter Soldier. It's one
I'm
of the big
conflicted about
ones.
that one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it makes me really sad that they did that to Bucky, but also that metal arm, though.
Okay, Gabby. Which means that, why did I
Is
almost
that
say Robert?
bad?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know.
Which
I
is
think
why Robert Downey, why did I say Robert Downey Jr.?
Tony
But
Stark.
Tony Stark. which Tony Stark's parents never die, which means no messed up daddy issues for Tony Stark.
Okay, true. But the Winter Soldier.
I mean, let's be honest, if they didn't go in and save Steve, he would have been the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he woulda. That would be interesting.
I know. I was kind of hoping that they went that way.
That'd be kind of cool. The only thing is, Steve is a little puny little bean. He would be the worst Winter Soldier as that Steve.
True.
Like, he's like literally dying in his own skin. Like, his own body is attacking him all the time.
But can you imagine how painful that would be for Captain Carter? Also, can we just talk about how Steve is freaking out when he gets out of the ice and Captain Carter's like, cool. War's over. She's like, okay. So what do you need me for?
Yeah. That was cool. I did like that. But yeah, Steve, like, just, like, friggin' freaks out.
I know.
Speaking of Steve freaking out, have you seen the subtleties about the costume design in that, like, the end credits of that?
No.
Okay. So, I'm very much into, like, vintage fashion,
Yeah.
and I'm a part of a bunch of vintage fashion blogs and forums and all that stuff. But I read somewhere that there's, like, multiple things that are wrong in the scenario that are just wrong enough to clue him in that something's wrong, which is why he freaks out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, the bra that the lady is wearing is a foam cup push-up bra, which would not have existed in the 1940s.
Interesting.
It would have been, like, thin fabric, and the shape isn't right either. It wouldn't be, like, a round, smooth shape. It would be a more pointed shape,
Yeah, it
because
was
that
the
was, like,
pointy.
the bullet bra.
The bolt bra.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really popular around that time, especially after the war.
Yeah.
The other thing was her tie was too thick. She was wearing a men's tie and not a women's tie.
Interesting.
Yeah, women's ties were thinner. Like, by a large margin thinner.
Yeah.
And, I mean, aside from, like, the other thing, but aside from the radio, of course, he knows. And also her hair. If she were working in, like, a military operation, her hair would have to be back and it's down.
Yeah.
Like, her hair would have to be up. Like, she has the victory roll and everything, but her hair wouldn't be down around her face loose. It would be
In
back
a bun.
in a bun or in a braid or some sort of thing. It wouldn't be down.
Yeah.
So, just a few little things next time you
Interesting.
watch Captain America to look out for.
Interesting.
Yeah, because, yeah, there was, like, special dress codes for women, especially in the 1940s, especially in military. I mean, there's still dress codes in military now for everybody.
I mean, yeah.
But, yeah, that's why he knew something was wrong. And I was like, that's very clever on the costume department's part.
I know.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. Now, can you put pockets in Yelena's vest?
Yeah, can you put freaking pockets on Yelena's vest? Come on, guys, get with it.
But yeah, I definitely think 3 has been my favorite. I'm looking at the list of the 4 episodes that have come out. I'm like, 4 was like real good. It was just a lot emotionally.
The world lost its mightiest heroes?
Yeah.
Doctor Strange lost his heart in what?
Instead of his hands.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. That one was a lot emotionally, and just like all the other ones I feel like could be rewatched. I don't know if that one can as often. Because it's very emotional and very, like, deep.
Yeah, I would assume so. That's what it sounds like it would be.
Then again, 3, we are losing every single one of the original 6 Avengers at some point in that episode. Yeah. Oh, wait. Except for 1. Yeah. Because they don't even have him in it.
Now I can't wait to see which one. Is it Bruce?
No, they have Bruce.
Okay. Dang. I like Bruce. I like Mark Ruffalo. Let me take that back. I like Mark Ruffalo.
I do too. He's a little Hufflepuff.
He really is. I think he's just freaking adorable.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. What was your least favorite moment?
Wait, did you do a favorite moment?
Yeah, the Hydra Stomper.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went on a little bit of a tangent, and then I talked about my favorite moment in Captain America First Avenger. Which is not even related. Well, I mean, kind of related, but barely.
Okay. I'm still thinking about least favorite moment.
Okay, then I'm going to do mine.
Okay.
So, I really didn't like the opening of the T'Challa episode. When he goes to get whatever the purple stone is. I was like, this is lame. I was like, this is so boring.
I take that back. I don't like the end of the T'Challa episode with Peter Quill.
I thought it was fine.
I thought that if they had that, it should have been one of the next episodes.
Yeah, I think it should be a separate episode. I don't think it should be included in T'Challa.
Yeah.
I didn't like, I don't know. Honestly, I just didn't like T'Challa as Star-Lord. I think that's just my opinion. I think that's just what I don't like about it. Because it's T'Challa as, regular T'Challa being Star-Lord. Yeah. Rather than T'Challa growing up to become Star-Lord. Which is what the story is supposed to be. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, you don't really get a sense that the Ravagers have really rubbed off on him.
He's rubbed off on them, more so.
Yeah, but he wouldn't even barely know half the stuff he's talking about by the time they come get him.
Yeah.
Which, so, I don't know. I just thought that I loved that they had Chadwick Boseman in it, and I really liked a lot of the aspects of it.
Same.
I just wish that T'Challa's character were more Peter Quill-like. Not necessarily because he needs to be, comedic, or he needs to be funny, or he needs to be any of that stuff. He doesn't have to be a bumbling idiot.
No. But at least a little bit of a,
yeah.
swagger, I guess is the word.
I mean, yeah, he has to have... Yondu and his crew are stupid, and they're silly, and they're funny, and he has none of that.
No.
And after growing up with those kind of people, they rub off on you.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I didn't really like it, is because it felt like they just were like, okay, we're just gonna replace Star-Lord with T'Challa instead.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought it was... Okay, here's the best way to explain it. It was T'Challa as himself rather than T'Challa as Star-Lord.
Yeah.
That's the best way to explain it, in my opinion.
I agree.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other least favorite moments?
I'm trying to think. No?
No? Okay.
I mean, one of my least favorite moments is in episode 4. So, we'll get back to that at another point.
Okay. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
So what would you give the show a score out of 10?
I love this show.
I do too.
I don't want to give it a perfect rating yet. So I'm
Yeah,
going to
'cause we
give
don't
it
know what's gonna
a
happen yet.
9.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give it like an 8.
Okay. I was like 10 out of 10, but I was like, I don't want to do that, and then the next episode I really hate.
Yeah. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's good, and I like it, but there's room for growth. Like, it can get better.
Yeah. And it does, if you've seen the next 2.
Okay, I will. And I'm going to... Okay, you're going to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier tonight, and then I'm going to watch What If tonight, and we'll discuss as we watch.
Okay.
Anyway. So, before we wrap up this week, we just wanted to chat a little bit about female costumes versus male costumes just in general in the MCU. Not necessarily just in these shows, but they can encompass any of the movies or any of the shows or like really anything we could think of off the top of our head because we don't have any notes for this section. So we're going off the cuff. People, off script.
When I wrote this in our ideas for episodes, the first thing that came to mind was the 2012 Avengers movie, comparing how sexualized Natasha is compared to like what everyone else is wearing in the major fight.
That's fair, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree.
Because everyone else, low cut top and everything.
Super
and
tight.
Everyone else is in like full body armor.
Armor, yeah.
Marvel has gotten better over the years.
Really, really better.
Yeah. But
yeah, I feel like now, I feel like in phase 1, the outfits that the women were wearing weren't practical.
No.
And they served no purpose.
No. But made me sad.
I feel like in phase 2 it got a little better, and in phase 3 and 4 it really has a purpose, and it really is tactical. You know? Specifically, I'm going to go back to Natasha's costume, because even though it is tight, it also has purposeful armor, right? She has a vest for protection. Yelena's vest that doesn't have any pockets. Anytime we bring up the vest, I'm going to bring up the pockets. I'm so salty that there were no pockets.
Yeah.
As a woman who loves pockets and needs pockets in all of my clothes, I sew pockets into my skirts and dresses because I need pockets.
Yeah.
That's how upset I was. There were no pockets. Ugh. I'm heated about this.
Phase 2 got better because I'm looking at a map of all of them, got better when we got more of the women, so like Guardians getting Gamora, and then Age of Ultron getting Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
Wanda.
I love Age of Ultron Wanda.
I do too.
Love her.
And then phase 3 and 4 starts with Civil War and ends with Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. 4 is just starting.
Yeah, 4 is just now starting. So it's
4 is just Black Widow in the shows.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Far From Home is the epilogue of 3.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I knew we were on the same wavelength. But where's it going?
I feel like
especially Black Panther.
Yeah. Black Panther was good.
Amazing women.
I loved them in Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think I think in the Thor movies, like Natalie Portman, I love her, and I think she did fantastic in these movies. And I don't think her wardrobe is that bad.
No, I don't either.
Granted, I mean, she's not technically a like superhero.
But she will be because she's female Thor.
Yeah.
She's signed on to play it.
Oh, yes. I'm excited for that.
I know.
But I don't think they're that bad. Like, same with Darcy's outfits. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
Like, Captain America. Okay, Peggy's outfits are very accurate.
Yeah,
they did a fantastic job. Same with, if you ever saw the ABC series, Agent Carter.
I didn't.
Okay, it's fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend. I think they also did a fantastic job with those. Like,
yeah.
And they're relatively accurate. They take a little bit more liberties in the show. But, you know, they're still somewhat period appropriate.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Honestly, I think DC has a bigger problem with this female versus male costumes than Marvel.
Up until recently, yes.
Yeah.
I just saw the Suicide Squad.
The
not
new
Suicide
Squad.
The new Suicide Squad. I just saw it the other day. And it's pretty good.
Okay.
And
I haven't seen it yet.
I thought Harley's outfits were good.
Okay, but
like,
up until, like, even this past Wonder Woman movie, I was like...
Okay. This past Wonder Woman movie had a different director and a different costumer than the first Wonder Woman movie. The first Wonder Woman movie was great.
Yes,
because the
first Wonder Woman
armor was based
great.
off... Yeah, because the armor was based off of real Amazonian
women.
Armor. Yes, and real Amazonian women, like, lore. Because they're not
they're Greek mythology.
Yeah, they're Greek mythology. But they're based off, like, Greek armor. Like, real leather armor, right? And there is a museum that actually had an armor that had a chest plate that was like... Oh, gosh, it's been so long since I've seen the movie. But the one with the alligator, like, skin.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so cool. And it's a real piece that's from that time period.
Yeah.
Ish. And they say, like, yes, Diana's is very stylized, but it's still somewhat accurate.
Yeah. But
in
then
the
we
new
get into
movie,
the new one, and it's just...
They have them in bikinis. Which is not right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not accurate. They did such a good job with the first film. I was so disappointed that they did a terrible job with the second film.
Same.
But that's what happens when you have a change in direction or a change in costuming. I mean, the first one was costumed by a woman costumer.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, even the TV shows and all that stuff, DC's had this problem for a while.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to make a broad statement. Some people may be upset. Some people may agree with me. Yeah. I think Marvel, in general, is significantly better than 99% of DC products.
Yeah, up until recently, I would argue that the DC shows were better, but now that we're getting, like, WandaVision and What If and even Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the Hawkeye show coming out and all that... Mm-hmm. I'm starting to think that Marvel might be better. Because DC, they don't know when to stop with their shows.
They don't.
Like, Flash has been going on for, like, 10 seasons
forever?
Now.
Yeah.
I started watching
Supergirl
it. Yeah, I was
has
watching
been going
those.
on forever.
I watched those starting from when they started, including Legends of Tomorrow. And had to stop halfway through because I was like, this is the same plot every season. Mm-hmm. We're not getting any character development at this point. I do not care.
Yeah, and, like, with the Marvel Runaways, I didn't really like that show.
Oh, I haven't seen any of the non-canon.
I think it's only, like, 1 season, maybe 2 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or in the reviews. Let me know if I'm wrong. But, they knew when to stop.
Yeah.
The few episodes that I saw, I was like, this is kind of boring, but, you know, I'm going to keep watching it.
Yeah,
because it's Marvel and I have nothing else.
I just wish that Legends of Tomorrow stayed longer than Supergirl and Flash and Arrow.
Mm-hmm. Arrow has been going on for frickin' ever too.
Yeah,
they're too long. Cut them off. 4 seasons done.
I know. Same with
Sometimes
Once Upon
even
a
4
Time.
seasons is too many.
Yeah, same with Once Upon a Time. Come on, CW. Well, Once Upon a Time's ABC. Or was ABC.
CW just doesn't know when to stop. No. I think that's just what it is. Riverdale should have stopped after the 2nd season.
Yes.
Unpopular opinions corner, folks. Although, who knows? They may be popular opinions. I don't know anymore.
I don't either.
So anyway. So back to costumes. This one's a little tangenty. Sorry, guys. So yeah. I think they did a pretty decent job with Peggy's costumes, and I think the more recent Natasha costumes are really good.
Yeah, I don't think the original ones are, but the more recent, like, I don't know, probably Age of Ultron or Civil War on.
I think Civil War, yeah.
Civil War, yeah. That's where I wanted to go, but I wasn't. Meh. But
Age of Ultron, I think, is kind of in the middle. It's kind of okay, kind of like
Yeah.
Age of Ultron is like what a girl would want to wear on Halloween if she were trying to be a little sexy, but like still cover up because it's cold.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's not bad,
Yeah.
but we can do better. And then in Civil War, I was like, okay, this is fine. I like this.
Yeah, so Civil War on is when we get not sexualized Black Widow.
Yeah. I mean, she is just a little bit, but that's just kind of, I think that's because of how the character is. Like, she uses her sexuality as a tool.
I mean,
right?
yeah, because she grew up in the Red Room.
Yeah, exactly. And we see how she learned to use it in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she does a great job. I like her.
I do too.
I also really love Wanda's evolution of costumes.
Same.
I love her evolution of costumes.
I love her newest costume so much.
As Scarlet Witch or as Wanda?
Scarlet Witch.
Okay, yes. I love that one. I also really like all her, like, Decades costumes. I like them.
Oh, yeah, same.
I like her
They're
Decades
so
costumes.
appropriate.
They really are. They're very accurate.
Yeah.
I also really liked her costume in
Well,
Age of
WandaVision was
Ultron.
costumed by a woman.
Yeah.
So.
See, women do our homework. We know. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of male costumers out there who also do their homework and actually know what they're doing.
Yes.
But in the scheme of this little realm that we're talking about, women, we do our homework on this.
We
kind
get
of
the job
ish.
done.
I was thinking that too. But I really like her costume in Age of Ultron. I know it's not really like a it's like more streetwear-y.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it.
Yeah. Which one
I'm
is
going to
that?
remind myself exactly what it looks like because from my memory, it's just a red hoodie. But I think that's at the beginning of Civil War.
Age of Ultron, it's a black dress and a red hoodie.
Okay, I was right. It is more casual. It was a red hoodie. Oh, it looks more like a leather jacket. But still, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's like, because, yeah, I mean, Quicksilver's is just like a rash guard.
Yeah. When did she wear the, like, corset top? Is that Civil War? You know which one I'm talking? Yeah, it is Civil War. I mean, yes, she's wearing it, but it's not sexualized because she's wearing a giant jacket over it.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I like it.
I cannot sure. I'm specifically looking at this picture.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. Show the Age of Ultron outfit because it's so stinking cute. Like, I would wear that just as an outfit. Like, she's cute.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you listening at home, we'll post these on our Instagram with a little poll that asks your opinion of these.
I love her.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's simple, it's understated, plus it's like something an actual like 20-something-year-old would wear.
Yeah. I mean, we're both 20.
I would wear that.
Yeah. I was like 20-something, but I was like, wait a second, we're both 20 right now.
Yeah. I would wear that. I would wear almost all of her costumes.
Same.
I think they're great.
Also, can we just, little tangent, can we just talk about how Captain America is like, she's just a kid, but then to Peter Parker, he's like beating him up in Civil War, and he's younger than her.
I mean, true. I have no rebuttal for that. You're right.
Yeah.
Usually I would defend it, but I have no rebuttal. You're right. You're totally right.
I'm right.
You're totally right.
He's 15 or 16, however old.
Yeah. And she's like 20. Well, she's like 19 in Age of Ultron, so she's like, 20-ish.
Yeah.
Sort of. Well, I think we've chatted sufficiently.
I think so too.
This week's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, which is okay because we have a really long episode
Coming
just
out.
before this.
Yeah, just before this. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Fan Fatales. Gabby, would you like to tell our lovely audience what we will be chatting about next week?
Yeah, so next week we're going to be chatting about all things Harry Potter. We're going to be chatting about some what-if scenarios inspired by Marvel's What If. We're going to talk about Harry Potter Puppet Pals because those were iconic and you know it.
Yes, they were. I love them.
We're also going to talk about scenes that were deleted when the books were transferred to the movies.
Yeah, and remember to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Please leave us a review and comment down below to tell us what you thought of the show. And remember to follow us on Instagram at FanFatalesPod for the latest updates, and to possibly be featured in a future episode. Now, Emma, where can the people find you on social media?
So my Instagram and TikTok are both at SnippyEmma, which is SNIPPYEMMA. What about you, Gabs?
I'm at Gabby Gent on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. That's GABYJENT.
Our music is by our amazing friend Maddie Macon.
And our editing is by the amazing and wonderful Kara Linsmeyer.
As always, thanks for tuning in.
Bye! The views expressed in this episode are expressly our own and do not reflect the brand or the company they're about.